Hey guys, so welcome back to Cultivation with Christy. I'm Christy. Haven't been posting much lately. I guess I got burned out after the 30-day challenge. I felt like I was just showing you guys the same thing every day because my garden's not all that big. I will do a garden tour after this video. It'll be the next video. I cleaned up the garden. I've got a professional photographer coming to take pictures of Lincoln and Lily in the garden tomorrow, so I wanted it to be at least decent to where we could at least get to some of the flowers because some of the beds were overgrown. The tomatoes were looking rough. I pruned them back. I threw some fertilizer on them this afternoon. I watered this morning, so the next time I water, we'll water in that fertilizer. I also put out a couple of zucchini seeds out there to see if we could get some late season zucchini. I've also taken out one of the cucumber plants, varieties. I took out 3 plants, I think. It was the Katrina cucumbers. They petered out, but that Marketmore, man, it's out of control. What else did I do? I planted more beans after I took out all of the onions and all of the garlic. Yeah, I think the potato bed currently is going to be the fall garden bed. I might have 2. We'll just have to see what gets ripped out when it's time to plant. So that's what I'm doing today. I've got my trays set up. I got all my fall seeds out here. If you recall, I said I started some, I may have left them inside, some Brussels sprouts. Well, I did, however, I forgot about them. Since it was only one of these trays, I couldn't stay on top of them. I kept forgetting about them. So, we are going to start some seeds. Alright, got them. I also grabbed the alyssum. Apparently that's in the broccoli family. I've got Brussels sprouts. Also have some pansies. Some cabbage. Let's see what else I got. Alright, so all of my root vegetables like carrots, radishes, all of those I'm going to plant directly into the ground in probably the 1st of October for where I am. The lettuces, spinach, arugula, all of that I will probably start in another month, maybe the beginning of September. Alright, I had to do some math. So on most of these seed packets, start inside, recommended 4 to 6 weeks before transplanting outside, which that's 4 to 6 weeks, 10 to 12. Anyway, we're gonna go with this. If I started it too soon, well, then I'll deal with it. So what I've got, 2 types of broccoli, a cauliflower, 2 different kinds of cabbage, and then pak choy, which is also a cabbage. 2 different kinds of Brussels sprouts, a couple of different kinds of flowers. I got alyssum, then I think 2 types of pansies, and Johnny Jump Up, which I think is also pansy. Johnny Jump Up is another name for a pansy. Then I have 2 different kinds of dino kale and celery. So if you've been here long at all, you know that I am slightly obsessed with Roots and Refuge. I think her content is great. I love following her story. Oh no, wind. I think the information she gives is great. Anyway, I am part of her Patreon, so if you don't know what that is, it's an app where creators can go and share content under a paywall, so you do have to pay to get into this. But she has posted a fall gardening guide, which I've got and I filled out. So that really helped me kind of narrow down which varieties to start and when, because I've always wanted to do a fall garden and I've gotten some success with spring and fall. I got cabbages last year, which I think was in the spring. But anyway, no true steady success. So maybe, and I've never started my own fall seeds successfully. And this year was actually the first year that I had spring plants like the peas and stuff like that were actually successful. The carrots, which I may have given my carrots to the swallowtail butterflies because I haven't harvested them. So anyway, so this is what I'm going to start with. I am going to plant these up and get these started, and then I'll come back. I doubt you want to sit here and watch me, and I'm going to charge my phone because after I finish doing this, the weather is beautiful. We're having a false fall here in the south. It's probably 72 degrees maybe now with a light breeze. It's beautiful, which is why I'm out here. I got the fall spirit. Probably won't be saying that next week when it's like 100 degrees. But while I got the fall mojo, I'm gonna get some of this stuff going. And like I said, with just the one Brussels sprout cell, like just one of these, couldn't hold my attention. So hopefully when I have a bunch of stuff started, then I'll be able to stay on top of it and keep them watered. So I'm gonna get this done and I'll see you back here in a little bit. Okay, I've got everything in here. As you can see, they're just chilling on the top. But I ended up starting, and this is 12 weeks to the next frost. So 3 different types of cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, another broccoli. Well, Romanesco is technically a cauliflower, but anyway, broccoli, celery, kale, 2 different kinds, pansies, 2 different kinds, viola. Turns out Johnny Jump Up is viola, not pansy. Alyssum, Brussels sprouts, 2 different kinds. Alright, I got my fall seeds started. Very excited. Obviously, this is not a how-to because I've never been successful in a fall garden. So this is more come along and see if it works out for me. So these mostly are in the Brassica family, or they're seeds that take 80 to 100 plus days to harvest. We'll start them inside. This is about 12 weeks before my first frost date. The estimated first frost date for where I am is November 1st, 2nd-ish. So we're about 12 weeks out from that. So start these. In another month, I'll start some of the lettuces and some of the other things. And then about a month out, then I'll plant the root vegetables directly in the garden. We'll see how that works out. I also have to figure out how it works with what's in my garden currently, because that means I'm going to be planting this stuff before the first frost. Yeah. And usually I leave everything in the garden until the spring, because I don't do fall or winter gardening. So I'll have to figure out what to pull out and what to leave. Because as you can see, she's gotten wild and luscious and crazy. Like I said, the next video will be a garden tour, so hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things. If you're new, thanks for joining me. I got 2 years of content that you can check out and see my progression. And if you're not new, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the garden next time. Bye guys.